What is up? We are your Colorado real estate family. Pete Sweeney, and we got Alana Bethune. She's a part of our Northern Colorado family up here. So any of you guys who are working in the Northern Colorado area, Fort Collins, Loveland, Longmont, doesn't matter. She's the one who's always here helping us out. So guys, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over the cost of living in Loveland. Not only that, but Alana's going to break in because this is actually where she lives and some real-time costs of what she's paying living up here in Loveland, Colorado.
Let's go.
If this is your first time watching one of our cost of living videos, what we like to do in these videos is do your cost of living index, where 100 is your national average. If it's above that, then obviously it's more expensive. If it's below, it's cheaper than your national average. And sometimes what we'll also do, since we're doing a city today, not the state of Colorado, we might compare a few of these items to the state of Colorado to see whether or not the city is either lower or higher than the cost of living in Colorado as a whole. So the first one that we're going to go over is overall, we're grouping everything together. We're talking about your groceries, transportation, real estate, all grouped into one. You're looking at Loveland, Colorado at a 112.6, so a little bit higher than your national average, but then if you compare that to Colorado, Colorado's a 120.6, so it's a little bit cheaper than the state of Colorado.
Yeah, the next up category is grocery.
Yep.
And here in Loveland, it's definitely like right around the national average at 99.7.
Yep.
In comparison to Colorado, it's right there about the same at 100.7. I personally love the grocery aspect right here in Loveland. We've got a lot of great options. You've got like Sprouts and King Soopers, of course, the bigger ones. But then there's also some cost-saving places like Esch's that has a lot of like the expired and dent, cans and that sort of thing that can really save you a lot of money in the grocery area. But Loveland does a really good job of keeping it real.
Yeah, I honestly I didn't even know about Etches at all. Like I said, we live more in the Thornton area, so Alana, that's why she's our expert up here, is because we do know real estate, but at the same time, we always prefer having that expert in the area, and that's why Alana is so amazing. I had no idea about that grocery store. So. All right, cool. So the next one we're going to hop into is health. And if you ever watched any of our other videos, Chelsea usually does this because she does have her nursing license. But I'll kind of break in, let me know whether or not I'm doing a good job or not. So health, if we look at your overall cost of living index with health, you're looking at an 87.5. Every time that we talk about health in the state of Colorado, it's always cheaper. If you go back to our video that we posted a couple weeks ago, we talked about Texas versus Colorado. Texas was much higher in regards to your health care, the amount of money that you're going to be paying for your health. So it's good to know. Something that I've also learned is that Colorado has some great gym systems in the area. And so I think Alana's going to actually cover a few of that. We're going to dive into a few personal items that Alana actually pays for in regards to a few of these items that we're covering right now. But yeah, like the gym selection in Colorado is amazing, and Loveland especially. And so when you're constantly shopping around, you have so many choices, and since you do have so many choices, it's bringing those gym costs a little bit down.
Next up, we've got housing, and as I'm sure you guys have talked about before, Colorado's on the upper side to that, 167.5 compared to that 100 baseline.
Yep.
Loveland is actually a little bit lower than that because we're still a smaller town and there's not a lot of action here. But keep in mind, these numbers are talking about renting and owning, and Loveland sits at 148.9. So a little bit lower than Colorado, but still higher prices for sure compared to the national average.
And I wish what we should have done also is, because a lot of times when people think about Loveland, Colorado, thinking about Fort Collins, I should have pulled those numbers so we could kind of compare the two, just to know that, Loveland in general, as compared to the state of Colorado, is a little bit lower.
Especially in comparison to other places like Fort Collins, Boulder, and Longmont even, Loveland and the smaller towns like Berthoud are going to be a little bit lower than the Colorado's average.
And I have a feeling that that's not going to last very long. Loveland is becoming super popular, guys, even since we started recording on this city a couple years ago. It's grown immensely, and so it's like, if that's something you want to really take advantage of, reach out to us and let us know. On top of that, guys, if you are enjoying this content, this is something that you value, that you want others to see as well, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, little thumbs up. I always mess up what arrangement it's in, whatever. And of course, if you are looking at purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado, give us a call on the phone number right below, right there. We answer them. It doesn't matter day or night. This is typically always the most important part of the video, and that is the cost of real estate. What are you going to be buying a house for here in Loveland, Colorado? First, we'll break into your single family. What we like to do in this cost of living is breaking into your single family and also your attached, your condo, townhouse, row home style living. So first thing is single family. What are you looking at? Median sales price as of March of 2023. You're looking at a median sales price of $485. And here's what we're seeing right now. I have a feeling that this might change depending on what interest rates do this summer, but right now we are trending downward, where this last 3 months it's actually down about 2.85%. And if you look year over year, the last 12 months, we're comparing March of 2022 to March of 2023, it's down about 8.5%, guys. So we're trending downwards. I don't know if that's the same story with attached living now.
Interesting thing here, actually, attached is trending up a little bit. So your median sales price for attached is at $355,000, and we're starting to see a little bit of an uptick. So just like it was about 3% down for you, in the last 3 months, it's 3% up for attached in the last 3 months. And we kind of think that probably has something to do with those interest rates climbing a little bit, bumping people into those lower prices. And of course, you can get into condos and townhomes for a little bit less than you can in a single family. So it just kind of makes sense. Year over year, we're still seeing about 2.16% in that increase as well. So not as drastic as the last couple of months, but still definitely trending upwards.
And I think one thing that we always see with these smaller towns is a limited amount of attached living that we have here in Loveland, Colorado. Do you really see an uptick in the attached living that they're building here?
Absolutely. We see a ton of it, especially over in that Centera area. And one of the interesting things we'll probably talk a little bit about is South Centera is going to be built out, and there's a ton of attached residential housing units that are going to come in up there too. And
guys, I highly recommend subscribing, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a whole video just on the Centera area. It's blowing up like crazy, so keep on watching. Hit that notification bell. That way you are notified when we do put out that new video if you are looking in this northern Colorado area. We're going to finish out this video with the last 3 items we're going to be talking about. We're talking about utilities, transportation, and miscellaneous. Like I said, guys, stick around to the end of the video, because Elena's going to be coming over her personal story, what she's paying for the mainly these 3 items right here. So first one we're going to go to is your utilities. And your utilities, if we look at it, it's a 91.9, so definitely lower than your national average, even compared to Colorado. Colorado's at a 98.4, so lower than the state of Colorado. Loving the utilities are... They seem to say that they're a little bit cheaper, but let's see what Alana says when we kind of hear her personal story.
Yeah, so I live in a 722 square foot house. It's a little bitty thing. And I tend to be kind of particular about how I keep my house. You know, there's a lot of people that do the cost saving things where you drop the, the temperature way down and stuff.
Did you touch the thermostat? Did you turn it up? Oh, of course not. Did somebody fiddle with the thermostat? Yes, it's 85 degrees. 85? Do you have any idea how much even a few degrees can impact the gas bill? Of course I do. It's unthinkable.
I like to keep my house pretty comfortable right at 70 degrees, and that usually puts me between $45 and $100 a month in gas, and about the same for electricity as well. Also, water is pretty standard here. I use about 1,000 gallons a month, and that runs me $60 usually. And then trash here is really cheap, in my opinion, at about $16 a month, and that even includes, so that's trash, recycling, and yard waste. So you have this huge bin, if you're cleaning up leaves and trimming stuff, they'll take that all away for you too once a week, so it's pretty good.
So one quick note on the trash as well too is there are a few local municipalities here who the city will incorporate the trash into your property taxes, right? And so some cities, so Loveland obviously doesn't do that, but if you have a city like Thornton does it, I think Arvada, maybe, I don't know. Just check into it, right? Because if you're sitting there and you're like, holy crap, who do I call for my trash company? Sometimes that might be incorporated in the city. Something to really check out. Something that we'll actually have some eyes on for you if you do decide to use us for your real estate needs.
So the next step is transportation, and us realtors are driving around town all the time, and so this one's a really important one to me. I just filled up. I use Sam's Club gas, which is right down the street from me. just filled up at $3.32 here. Right along the I-25 corridor, there's one that I hit up all the time that's at like $2.80 something too. So there's some decent gas prices. In comparison to the national average, we're sitting at 94.7. So definitely a little bit lower with that regard. And then also when it comes to, you know, your oil changes and different maintenance items and stuff, it's never really too extreme or anything like that.
And so one thing I've also noticed on this transportation is, so insurance I always thought was pretty high here in Colorado, but I didn't realize until I looked into Texas how you guys have higher requirements for your, you know, your liability, property and all deductibles and all that good stuff. So we're actually not that bad here with auto insurance. Gas, you know, it's all right. I know that, you know, a lot of other places just kind of driving across the country, they do have lower gas, but it's not California status where it's crazy high or nothing like that. So a few things to really kind of take into mind. We're probably about mid-grade. You know, obviously with the numbers that we're showing you right now, we're a little bit below your national average. The last one that we're going to be covering right now, guys, is your miscellaneous. What is your miscellaneous? It's your restaurants. It's when you go out to do some shopping and hit all those boutique spots, right? I always got to do it. I got to throw it in there. I'm still waiting for my t-shirt. Maybe one of you guys will like randomly like send me over one or something like that. I don't know, but
do it.
Yeah. So your miscellaneous, we're looking at it on your cost of living index. You're looking at a 152.7, so definitely higher than your national average. We're talking about this a little bit. Why it might be so much higher on that scale, even compared to Colorado, because Colorado's 120.4.
Right. We were talking about this. I live right downtown, so I'm walking distance to the old school downtown part of Loveland.
Yep.
And now that I'm thinking about it, you're going down there and visiting mom and pops and the cute little boutique little shops and things like that. And so, of course, it's going to be a little bit higher priced. And so I think that's probably the main pull on all of that. A couple other dollar points I wanted to run by you were my gym location. So Loveland has a ton of awesome gyms. I personally go to Choose Fitness. They've got everything from infrared saunas and recovery studios doing like hydro chairs and everything. And that's right about $30 a month. And then you've got Gold's Gym and a bunch of other, there's like a Loveland Club that are also right around that $20 to $40 range or so. So pretty reasonable there with your gym. And then groceries. We didn't talk about the actual price point. For me, living single alone, I usually spend about $100. It lasts me maybe 2 weeks at the grocery store. But I also eat out quite a bit at those places downtown. So
all the boutique stuff. Yeah. Or I guess it does sound boutique.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there, whatever.
Pop,
yeah.
Mom and pop.
Mom and pop. Yeah. Thank you so much for checking back with us, guys. Like I said, if this is something that provides value to you, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, little thumbs up or something right along those lines. Yeah, that's Chelsea's part, okay? Chelsea's usually the one that comes in. I'm just sitting here winging it a little bit. Also, if you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the state of Colorado, more specifically today, Loveland, why don't you give us a call on the phone number right below, right there. Give us a call, text us, matter of day or time. We are always answering. Until next time, we love you.
Bye, guys. Absolutely. Sorry, do you want me to talk about like the specific ones later?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
So something that it's real. I don't know where I was going with that. Like Loveland is, or I mean, yeah, Loveland.
Yeah,
Loveland. We answer them all the time. Doesn't matter. Blah. This is usually the most important portion of the cost of living videos that we always do, and that is the cost of real estate. What are you going to be? Blah. What are you going to be spending if you are purchasing a house here in the city of Loveland? Is what. This is always the. Blah. It's always. Oh, I'm tripping over myself. Blah, blah. I'm gonna start over.